how, to be honest, about this situation. Because you are just promoted. Now you end up in one of the top 3. So what do you think the difference will be? Since we start with Putri, since you record, you've been working here, you've seen how Div 1 is.
Yeah.
Then after that we'll go to Hussein, being an experienced coach. What's needed or what's the difference? Start with the difference first.
I've never had the opportunity to play in Div 1 before, so I am not prepared. But we have time to train and all.
How long?
And
Got time.
I think our team is quite solid. I think with much more training and conditioning, I think definitely am ready for Div 1. Yeah.
Hussein?
I think the foundation of the team is quite good. I think our first 2 lines they're quite young. I think they play a very I wouldn't say very distinct. They play a fairly distinct style of floorball. I think something that we've tried to inculcate in our players. I think the challenge is to have a squad that's ready. You cannot just have
Suddenly coming.
Yeah, two lines. You have to have 4 lines ready for the Premier League. Even our stronger players, I think they need to really put in the work to prepare. I would say more friendly matches with more Premier League teams. The training sessions need to be robust. Preparation has to be good. Yeah.
What do you think the mentality? Let's say you have a Division 2 team. Sorry. What is the mindset that you want to put to them if you just got promoted?
I mean, they talk about training and then probably a bit on fitness side, but if you talk about mentality wise, they have to play against stronger opponents moving forward, even before playing the real Premier League itself. So I mean, you will definitely have youth players where they probably train in schools as well. So through various avenues, be as exposed as possible. Yeah. So I would say the one possible avenue that you can do is actually to play against boys or play against guys. Yeah, so that would be the easiest possible way. Yeah, because for guys over here, they probably need to go overseas, right? But for girls over here, definitely they can play against guys. Then with the physicality, the pace, intensity and whatnot, then naturally once you get into the mode and be able to embrace the like I said, intensity and physicality, then that's one way to improve the mental aspects.
I will share again because it revolves around my school, the volleyball team. I was with them for quite a while. I think they're almost 30 times national champions. I think almost 30. Yeah. So one aspect is that we have our off-season, pre-season, everything. Very very strict regime. And one of the big factor before the B division, pre-COVID and whatnot, before all this, what we do is we always travel overseas at the end. So the boys will go to Japan, US, you name it. Every single year they will go to a higher level teams. So when you talk about St Hildas volleyball B division boys, they can take on university teams because why they are calibrated to play against overseas teams. So I think you're right about boys. If you want them to do well, they have to face bigger monsters in the ocean. So yeah. But again, then comes the capital, comes everything. The logistics, whatever the support you need. If only we can really have that, it will be very interesting. So that's why I think even the national team may need to look into this. Training camps or explore more options. Look at the bigger monster. That's what I did. We brought over the volleyball mindset, where we were losers basically in St Hildas. We lost every single thing, but we always look at the bigger monsters, which was back then was Tanjong Katong side. So we aim to, even though we were at the bottom, we aim at the highest. So everything else is just work and work and work. So eventually managed to get it, and also congratulations, top 4 this spring finally.
Oh yeah. It's been a while, I guess.
It's been a while. So finally, I was watching it. I was like, okay, they're back. It's the signature is spring. Yeah. But I know he, as a coach, he was like, no. Yeah.
I think it's. I mean, if you talk about we are shifting our conversation a little bit. Right? I think the school games is more challenging. I think with this whole DSA setup and all this, I think because generally East Spring doesn't do DSAs, so it's a case of make do lah. So if we happen to have a good crop, we have a good crop. But the training remains the same. But it depends on the the players that come in. But I think it's okay. I think generally we're happy with where we are. I think it's fine.
Yeah, and Mr. Darren Chong, congratulations also. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. Top. Fourth, right?
Fourth,
Yeah,
fourth,
but
fourth,
it's okay. Yeah, it's good. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so that's the thing. We just talked about it. The squad itself, right? You even covered the depth of the squad for your TFC teams. Because we are looking at the likes of Titans and Wonder Sticks. And we just talked about the aim the bigger fishes. And do you think it's possible to? I'm not saying beat them. Go on par with them, push it out within this, let's say, 5 months. You think it's possible? Don't give me the Adidas. Nothing is impossible.
I think yes. Like TSC trainings, we do train the boys, so I think that really helped us. Like in the Div 2, yeah, because we get to train practice our play-ups and all, which definitely helped. And I think within 5 months, coach, you think it's possible?
Good, you just showed a bit.
Of course.
Okay,
Here you go.
maybe you share what you think.
I think
Coming from you are in the national B team, right?
yeah.
Okay, from that experience, because a lot of national team usually are the top players in the country. So, do you think from what the club is doing and as compared to the national team, will you be able to catch up with the higher caliber players as a club?
As a club,
Yeah. As in Cheetahs, yeah.
yes, of course. I believe in each and every single one of us. But I think we have to put in extra effort, to come for trainings and actually give our all. Then, yeah, I think definitely we can have a good fight with the Div 1 teams. Yeah.
And then also, a lot of things also like schools, training and whatnot, your responsibilities and your school stuff and whatnot. You need to juggle a lot,
Yeah.
right? So it'll be challenging on top of your club also. And Hussein, as a coach, what is your plan? Or I mean, you don't need to share your trade secret or anything. What's your plan to prepare for this Division 1 actually?
I think we have to probably the team will probably have to open its doors for more players to come in and fight for places. I think competition for places is really important. Then I think the intensity of training is to increase. Yeah. So generally speaking, if you ask me if we were to compete next year, whether we can compete with the likes of Titans and so on and so forth, it depends on our recruitment and our preparation. I don't think the girls are that far off. They're that far off. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we could set a target of playoff place first. But they are mostly 17, 18.
Yeah.
I think majority of them. Bunch of 1 or 2 younger ones even. So they have time. I think maybe a better target to really go up there and compete with the Titans and the Wonder Sticks. Maybe it will be in like 2 to 3 seasons, not like next season. Yeah.
Realistically, yeah. Of course, the experience from these players, almost 10 years.
Yeah,
in the setup,
yeah.
right? So yeah, it's very different. In terms
It's
of
different.
that.
Yeah.
So we are going to move on to the next topic. This one, I think you also want to know, talk more about this as well, right? Academies in Singapore. So my personal take right now, when we talk about football academies, whatever, we have the two well-known or the biggest academies, which are YFA or Wonder Sticks, and then we have our Stars / Darlin. So how do you put yourself in the landscape itself for TFC as a club and an academy? Because to be honest, I went around and talked to players and whatnot, right? Everyone tend to forget that TFC existed, but then when you talk, right, we are TFC. Everyone's like, yeah, they got every single team in almost every single competition. So where do you put yourself in this ocean of a battle of these two? I won't say battle; it's the two well-known academies, yeah.
Okay, for me, is it? Maybe I can start off by saying that I think the emergence of Star Academy is fantastic for the landscape of Singapore floorball. I think it adds diversity. There's more options for players, for parents. So I think that's really, really wonderful. So I'm actually personally really, really happy. I think Wi-Fi is doing a brilliant job. So I think kudos to both academies. I think in terms of getting ourselves known and getting out there, I think our marketing lags behind a lot. And I think our strength is actually in our youth development, right? So we very, I think the team, our club is very competition based, very competition geared. So it's not so much about, I mean, we do train beginners, we do have kids classes, but they're not a big part of our club. So the bulk of our club comes from our youth. So we feel that we have a very strong youth setup. I think Putri, Naila, the likes of a bunch of them, I mean, they grew up with us. I think they during COVID went missing for a while, and they played for Tina for a while, and then they came back. But generally speaking, I think youth is where our strength is lah. Not so much the kids, beginners development. So that's how we're really different. But like I said, I love what Wi-Fi is doing, what Star is doing. Fantastic. I think kudos to them. Yeah.
Any thoughts, Desmond?
I mean, this if other than YFA, Star, and as well as TFC, there's also this Big Blue Academy as well. They do touch even younger age group. Because during the recent Pesta Sukan, right, the youngest age group was actually U12, and then the guy that was running Big Blue, he was like, "Can you do U10 next year? Because we have actually even younger players." So from just that info alone. Alright, you can see that the age group is getting younger and younger, or you can just say that the pool of players is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, so yep, this another side info.
But remember you said that some primary schools, they are closing floorball more, right?
You want to talk about that part? But yeah.
The academies are opening up more.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, Singapore is still a very small population after all. So let me try to digest and see how I can talk about this, man. But yes, there are primary schools that I know they are closing down. There are also primary schools that are opening up. So plus minus here, plus minus there. At the end of the day, it's also the community as a whole. Whether is it the schools and as well as the academy, right? Is to, like what Hussein said, build out a certain identity. Like, what is this academy for? Do you want to train to compete, or do you want to train to groom to say fit into your Div 2, Div 1 clubs, or like Big Blue, they really just train to play and enjoy the game. So with bigger diversity, you can touch on the different needs of the different parents as well, the kids itself. But of course, if you ask me, I believe that generally speaking, if everyone helps to increase the pool of youth players, broadly speaking, then if you talk about the national team wise, then you will have a better chance of more better players at the very top. Yeah.
The elite versus mass participation. This was something even when I was still in the ministry and we talked about this, where I won't say whose responsibility it is, because we know it's a shared responsibility of be it association, coaches, and the ministry itself. The big problem is who is going to manage it, because too many arms, too many things going on. Right?
Can I add something? I just want to add something because recently we coaches actually realized that there's advertising, there's a post. There's posts. So 3 youth coaches up for grabs under SFA. So even SFA itself are trying to create. I'm not so sure. I've been trying to ask around a bit, but I'm not so sure. So they're looking for 3 youth coaches to groom younger players to train. But again, whether does the players comes from the same pool in terms of the schools and academy, it can cause a bit of the debate, right? So I'll just leave the question here. But I did try to ask around. I still have no idea what each group they'll touch on.
Yeah. I think I mean, it's a very crowded space. I think it's almost as if I mean, there's like I think Desmond has already mentioned that there's not a lot of clarity. So maybe we will wait for more information. But if we are picking from the same pool, that means this development center.
Yep.
It's taking players from say Tampines and Star and YFA, and then you're bound to there's bound to be some
Differences.
differences and conflicts, and then it becomes the development center becomes a competitor to all the other academies, right? So we'll wait for more information.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm actually quite aware of the age group itself, but it's not confirmed yet, right? Because it's still in discussion, but there will be 3 categories actually. So again, not confirmed information, we don't know yet until something happens, but we had like active SG Floorball Academy, all that, So again, so many things going on, and like we said, different ideas coming together. So we have time to talk about this, right, Leandro? About this. Okay, so okay. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, this was something I raised with HPC before. For me, it's what is Singapore's style? What is our floorball culture? We talk about Sweden. Sweden is a free-flowing floorball. They use the brains of the players and whatnot to play. You look at Finnish, very structured, very physical, very tactical with their play-ups. They know what they're doing, and then the Swedes with possession play and whatnot. So what is Singapore's structure? Then if you say that you need, we must be adaptable to everyone. Means TFC must be able to play, for example, Stars Way, or YFA needs to be able to play Stars Way, or vice versa. Then it's complicated for our players. I don't think it's diversified. It's more confusing. No, but coach this says this and coach that says that, and which one should I follow? It happens, and sometimes as coaches, we take it personally also. Like, he said that about me, that kind of things. Even though it wasn't personal, it was just meant that skills is like that. So Putri, if you're in such position, if you're a player right now, you have a lot of coaches already, your experience. So what really made you realize that actually this is supposed to be the way?
I think as a player, we should always keep like an open mind. So we have to be ready to hear different things from different coaches.
But which one is the right one? Which one's the wrong one?
I don't think there's a right or wrong.
Really? High stake wrong or not?
Oh, okay. Like in terms of like play ups and all the tactical things, I think there's no right or wrong. I feel like that's how I grow as a player. I will listen to each and every single one of my coaches and just take whatever they say, and then just input in my own.
I like my players to argue with me. I think Coach Desmond also, to a certain extent.
We are generally.
Go.
We are generally open for players to discuss question like why this, why that. I mean, I just actually spoke to someone last week, and then that certain person will say that when she's with this team and then this team plays this way, but when within a few days she's playing for a club, that team plays the other way. So at times I just said she, but anyway, yeah, she does get into this confused state in terms of like what is her own identity. Like whether is she even playing well, or is it because of the coach, or is it because of the team, or is it because of... So there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, I think you just have to be like very flexible with this. Yeah. So yeah, there will always be like, I think in Singapore, like the way every single coach, they are very different. Like I think right now I'm under Coach Hussein, Coach JQ, and Coach Jatin, and each and every single one of them are their coaching very different. Like in the Singapore training, we are still learning about the tactic things, and I think Coach JQ, every training I can say that I learned something new. I've never learned before, like in my 9 years of playing in floorball. Whereas like with Coach Jatin, he's more of tactical and formation and all. And with Coach Hussein, I think I learn more of, I think I grow more like mentally. He prepares me mentally for like the game, and yeah. So I think it's all very different, and it just voices back down to you as a player to be like more flexible yourself. It's not always about the coaches actually. Like I'm sure that the coaches are here to groom us as players, to be better players and improve. Yeah.
Hey, you should go into politics. You're also very, very politically correct. I cannot even give politically correct answers.
Her answer has been quite professional right in the beginning. Yeah.
Compared to all of
Yeah.
us.
But I think I have to throw the question back to Hussein. So if at a higher level, right, if you talk about CA soccer, we talk about certain nations they failed in World Cup, and then they took a couple of years back because they have to probably scrape the whole whatever plans they had years ago and rebuild things up. So I do heard personally like countries like Japan or even Germany. I think Germany is a very clear one, where from up to down they have to follow strictly a certain way to play, and every single club coaches will have to follow that way, and it is because of a national agenda. But I'm not saying that Putri is wrong, because it is what we all face in Singapore. But can we? I think the question is, or should we go into that so-called Germany model where we follow a certain approach? Abbas, you can answer too.
So who wants to answer first? Oh.
No, you go first. You go first. I'm thinking through.
For once, I ask question.
Hey, soon you're gonna take over already. We're talking about structure, and we're talking about a lot of factors, right? When you look at the German right now, it's failing, and they're trying to plug the hole. What's going on and what's not. Then you look at the Japanese, a very solid structure that has always been working, but they're not there. Maybe opportunities didn't come. For me personally, we need. I believe in culture and identity. Our culture and identity is very important. No matter whichever coaches, whoever, whatever style it is, you come in. When you were raised as a floorball player in Singapore, this is how a floorball player plays. Like, when we just look at school level, we know certain school play this way, certain ways, certain styles, or their attitude or whatnot. We know because there's culture, there's values or whatever it is in that school, that specific schools. But why can't we put it on a nation level? So for me, we get that culture running first. Then we can talk about how we're gonna play high pressing, whatever. Because tactics always change. We have to adapt to the changes itself. Like I'm very, very vocal about this. We are playing what Swedish are doing 20 years ago, 10 years ago. We're still doing it, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a sensitive topic, but that's the reality. When we look at other sports also, we can, not only floorball, when you look at other sports, team sports, it's the same thing. We are catching up. We're always trying to play catch up. And one big factor is because we forget that actually we are very good. We are superbly good as human beings. The COVID situation was a good example, how we recovered from COVID very fast, how we managed COVID well. And other nations were looking at us, and we had that gold standard. Literally, the world said that we had a gold standard, but we are afraid. I'm not sure why we are afraid of what, but that's Singapore thing. We have the people, and now when it comes to sports, it's like this. Are we afraid? Why are we looking outwards? Why not look inwards? Really, really sit down and what's our culture? Find our identity. That's me.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that just to make sure that I understand what Desmond wants us to talk about. You're asking whether are you asking whether we need some sort of maybe cultural reset or some kind of floorball reset over here, as which is something like what Germany football went through back in the 2000s. I think when they're doing pretty badly before they start winning the World Cup. Is that what you're asking?
To a certain extent, yes, but it's more of should we do a top-down approach?
Top down. Okay.
Yeah, now it seems like a down-up approach whereby we are developing our own ways, and then we just see how it goes. Okay, this is good, this is good, this is good, and then whoever takes the top job, which is the national coach, and then based on his or her way or style, and then that's it. So that's a lot more down to up, but rather the other way. Yeah.
Okay, good question. Actually, I really I feel very passionately about this. Actually, I shared this with the incoming committee. I told them that ultimately the role of the association is to produce, this is very debatable, is to produce glory for the nation in the sport. But when I say this, right, in no way am I neglecting the grassroots, because there's no way you will succeed at the elite level without having a very, very strong grassroots. It has to come hand in hand. So right now, Singapore Floorball is a hodgepodge, is a patch of different things. At the junior level, junior primary school level, you have a 3v3 with 2 goalposts. When you play this way, you are developing a certain style of playing in the kids, right? And if you were to be very, very, very objective about it, if you go and look at like 99% of the games, the kids, when once they get the ball, the first thing they do, choose one goal, whack it into the goal. What are you teaching? Right, that's what's happening at that level. And then you need to transition within like 3, 4, 5 months to play the 4v4 of a goalie. Right. Imagine the difficulty the primary school coaches are having right now. Right. And then, okay, 4v4, fine, then you go into secondary school. Then all of a sudden, when you're 17, when you go to tertiary, suddenly you have to play with the idea of a center. Right, okay, so what's going on now? When you play 4v4, it's very simple. The game is, okay, I can cut in and shoot because I have the luxury of space. I don't need to pass as much. Right. So the struggle really at our elite level starts at the grassroots. Right? So I think there needs to be a very coherent plan, right? That is all encompassing, something like what Japan, Germany went through, right? So that's about all I have to say, for now. Yeah.
This topic will be very, very long if we were to continue. Okay, I think we are really shortage of time, right? So let's sum up everything quickly. So I think first and foremost, I think we should welcome the new president, Mr. Ben Au. Welcome.
Welcome, Coach Ben.
And the new board member.
Yeah, welcome, Ben.
Okay, so welcome. We have our new president and of course the board members as well alongside him. And the first big event that we'll be having will be actually not the Premier League final, the AFC, which is an international event before our big one, which is the World Cup itself for the women's. So congratulations, and we hope to work well together, everyone, for this future. And let's not forget about Kenneth. I think through the COVID period, we really have to give thanks to Kenneth for his effort and his involvement to the association and to the community. If you talk with the OG floorballers, they always say that, now you have better structure and whatnot as compared to last time. But when you talk about the younger and the hungrier ones, they say, no, we need better, we need improvements and whatnot. So it's fair, both points of view are fair, but it's very important that we just talk about it just now to appreciate people's effort. So Kenneth, really thank you very much. I hope you continue refereeing also. I think you enjoyed refereeing, right? Yeah. So see you more often on court, more in grey, I guess, rather than in red. So thank you, Kenneth. Thank you very much. And let's round off the award, the National School Games closing ceremony, which I was there. Both Ioana and Justin managed to get the award itself for Best Sports Boy and Sports Girl for National School Games. So congratulations. I think all of us, 3 of us, even Putri, we all know who Ioana is. Leandro will definitely know the national team players and whatnot. And of course, kudos to her being featured and whatnot. Okay. We can hear the yo-yo test at the background. You can hear the yo-yo test. The men's team are doing the yo-yo test now, so good luck to them also. And sum up for the Sunic results itself, on Tuesday we had SIT against SUSS. The women's for SIT lost to SUSS 5-4, and the men's beating SIT with 6-2, followed by Thursday's game, NUS women's beating SIM 6-3, but the men's side lost 5-4 to SIM. And over on Saturday, where NTU ladies edged out a 3-2 win over SUSS, where the men's side, a surprise one, beat NTU 4-0. That's a surprising result actually. And of course, it ended off the day with SUTD and SMU, where SMU women's won the game by 5-2 and the men's 14-2. Okay. I think we don't really have much time to talk about anything else. So, really thank you very much, Hussein and Putri, for coming down. And please, for the viewers, continue to support our floorball, especially this weekend, this Saturday, our finals and 3rd and 4th placing, and along the way, the Sunic games that will be running in NUS. So with that, thank you very much for your support, and really, really appreciate your time with us. So with that, thank you, and see you soon.
Please subscribe to Leandro's channel. Support Leandro.
The camera woman.